Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm Mohamed Wahba, Revit expert. I wanna throughout this video accomplish and continue my work throughout this model and this full model. Let me first of all talk about what we've made before on this structure. We imported the structure from AutoCAD, this structure that we open now, and we try to get those to the model, to the sheets, and import and export those sheets in Revit and to model our structure in 3-dimensional view. So that's what we made before, and we want to continue our work to throughout this video to build the internal and external brick walls. So we want firstly to get those walls in our Revit. So I will take it in a new sheet, and I will save this file here in its location in my hard disk. So I will, for example, name it as a wall layout. So let us insert this layout here in the ground level. So I need firstly to shut down all the previous layers, previous AutoCAD layers, by pressing VV, and to deselect all those files from here, and I will import from insert, import AutoCAD from here. Its layout, we want to check here black and white, and also all the layers I want to get, and units in millimeter. For example, I will choose center sonar and open. We need firstly to make sure that this file is exactly lays upon the previous one. We need to check it here. We may need to close all the unnecessary layers by pressing VV as well, and I will choose here this, and to know the name of this layer. For example, it's a wall, and the internal one is the same. So I will choose only a wall, and to make sure this file is laid upon and to move this will from this corner to the corner of our column here. So we need to make sure that those walls are lay upon our previous work. So we need now to bin this file and to deselect the bent element. So I need now to identify and define the wall cross section and to draw it here. Firstly, I don't want here to see for example axes and grid lines and also some unnecessary elements here. So when I want to do something like this, I press VV and to go to here to model categories and to deselect all the unnecessary work and unnecessary layers and model. May I can do something like this, or there is another method to do something like this by pressing on one element like this, and to open the temporary hide and isolate. We may here to hide all the categories from this sort, like this. I can make it also for my walls, for my slab on grade, like this, height element, and so on. And we may make something like this for our grid beams, and so on. So we need now to define the grid, our walls, by pressing here. For example, structure wall, I will identify another one by pressing edit type and to duplicate another one. For example, it is 20 centimeter, and I will edit this file to make it only 0.2, and to make the material brick. Think that the internal walls 200 millimeter, and I think the external ones is 250. So I will duplicate another one. It is 0.5. I forget this point. Okay, so the method when we want to draw these walls is similar somehow to the method when we draw before the columns. For example, I will choose here the purpose of this wall, and to choose, we are here on the grade level. So I will choose, for example, the height, and to choose the first story. We may check here very important points. So when I want to draw this wall, I want to draw it from, for example, the internal side of this core, or the outside, or the external side of this wall, or the center line of this core, or if we have any layer outside or inside this wall, for example, finishing layer, so I can choose also the external exterior finish and interior finish. I can hold it from any points from those points that I clarified. So I will choose here, for example, I will choose the interior core face. That is the core face. If I want to make a chain here, like column, I will start here by drawing the external ones. So I will press here at this point, so we can draw it internally like this. And to continue all the required external walls like this. We need to get out of this order here and to continue drawing all the required external walls, and to finish here this wall. So I want to draw the interior ones, so I will choose 20 centimeter. For example, I will choose here We need to continue now to create another walls, create similar, and to continue the other required walls in our structure. We need now to check our 3D model by pressing here. Firstly, at this model, I will close all the AutoCAD layers. So I will choose here. So I wanna check something important here in my model. Firstly, I will when I choose this wall, I can see this wall is inside, will be take in the consideration in the program consideration to be inside the wall, inside the column. So this will lead to some mistakes when we make our schedule and to estimate our quantities ultimately. So when I need to get this column outside of or to get this column out of the wall. So when I want to do something like this, firstly I need to check my my wall. There are some steps important we need to do to make something like this. Firstly, I need to make this wall not to be structural. Once I need to make it architectural. So when I press on this wall, I can choose here to deselect the structural one. So I will deselect this point, for example. But unfortunately we couldn't find and couldn't see this this wall. So why this? We need to check our discipline here. It is structural only. So I will choose, for example, a coordination to make sure all those categories will be seen here in my model. So I will choose coordination. When I check this wall and to choose, for example, isolate category, we can choose all those walls and to make all those walls not to be structural ones. So I will choose the structural only that we made, and to make sure it is not structural ones. So we made all these walls not to be structural. When we press here on to reset our temporary hide and to see all the members in our structure or all our categories. So I will choose here. I need to make a join to our geometry. So what we need to do firstly is to check here join geometry and to check here multiply joint. Firstly I need to press and to choose firstly my wall, and second we need to check and to press on all the members that we want to get from out the walls. For example, I will choose columns, and then I will choose, for example, beams. I need all those members to get out of my wall like this. Grid beams, slab, and so on. So when we get out of this order, we can see clearly here that our wall become separated from structural members like columns, beams, slabs, and so on. We need to make this order to all our structures. We need to make this order to all the internal walls inside our structure. So I will drag this member here. The internal walls are the difficult ones, so I will choose here. So I will choose here, for example, 3D model, and to choose from properties here. I need to make a section box like this, and to move those arrow inside our structure to make sure that we can see clearly our walls beside the slabs, beams, and so on. So I can do it easily here. So I will choose here join, for example, wall, and to press structures, columns, and so on. I will do this order for all of my structures. I will choose, for example, join, wall, and then press beam, slab, and so on, column, and so on. I will choose also this wall, members. I will check all these members except selection box. So I will make hide element to see it clearly. So I will choose, for example, this wall, join, choose firstly the wall, and then choose a column, slab, all the interfering elements. And so on. If our walls are the same in the another ones, we need to copy these walls to make it to paste it on and replicate it on the second story, and so on. So I need now to I now finished all the required walls in our structure. If I want to do walls here in the roof, on the roof here, we have here 4 walls in my structure. So if I want to draw those walls on the roof, so I will draw it, stand here, and to draw, to get for example wall, I will get it architectural. I don't want it to be structure here, and to choose for example 20, and to attach it from it and to hold it from its interior side. So I will choose and draw these walls like this. tells me it doesn't appear in this view. Because my discipline here is structure only, I will choose coordination. I will choose here to stand in 3 dimension. I made error, I will justify and to make it connect between, to make this wall connect the second by the roof, and join as well all those elements. I will choose firstly here join, choose wall, and then to select the columns, beams, slab, and so on. We can choose exterior walls only from the outside here, filter only walls, and for example I will check here to choose only isolate element. I want to choose only the exterior ones. And copy it, select it in the second roof, and then to make a fence that will be located outside, I will choose it unconnected and choose the depth of it. For example, I will choose it 1 meter only, so I will choose here reset temporary. I need to check this layout to make sure these walls I think are outside, and to go this wall goes on the perimeter of my structure like this. And to check here my walls from its interior, are connected by 1 meter, and to stand here to draw as well my walls. So I will choose here I will copy it from the second story. To paste it here on the first story. Stand here to justify this wall to be start from the first to the second one, and to copy it to be as well here on the grid story. So I want to check this wall to be like this. So I want to also to make sure this wall drawn correctly. Can check this wall to be stand here, or to choose here from the file from extend to corner like this. Now we finished my structures. If you want to make a consideration for the volume of and the area of the open area, like the windows, doors, and so on, all you have to do is to press on the wall and to edit profile from here and to draw a closed loop here on the wall. For example, I will choose, for example, left, and to draw the opening of my window. Choose its height, for example, 1.3, and its width, for example, 1.5, and to relocate this these elements to be commensurate with our structure and to be at its location in my structure. So I draw this this element. I can copy it, for example, choose multiply, copy it, for example, my structure, and when I finish, you can see here that you made an open in your structure, and so on. If I want to make a door or anything else in my wall, so I can edit my profile. So my profile, for example, I will choose this element here, and to edit my profile, I want to make, for example, wall here. I will choose this element and to choose the dimension of my wall, for example 2.4. I made here an overlap by drawing two lines at the same location. So I will delete this line, but it can't this drawing can't work with me. So I will split this element and made some modifications in my profile, for example, like this. So I made now a wall in my a door opening area for my door. So and so on. You can make all those elements by pressing on your wall and then make a closed loop in your structure. So I will do all these elements for my structure, then to prepare this model to be scheduled and to be estimated for its quantities. So I finished my model, all the required opening in my walls to be like this. So it is now ready to be scheduled, and it is now ready to estimate all the required quantities in my structure. If you found this video useful for you, please like, share and subscribe my channel to get my latest tutorials, and you will find me below to reply your comments. Thank you very much.